YouTube video, guys. Today it's a bit different. We're going outside. It's a nice sunny day in Australia, so I've got to take advantage of that one. So anyway, let's get into the video. I don't want to keep you guys waiting too long. Today's going to be hopefully a bit short, but we're just going to cover the trade I took, the 14RR trade I took. Obviously it's not one of those trades where it's just a one tick stop loss and then a massive take profit. It's just not that. It was actually a proper genuine trade, and I'll recap exactly my thought process and the executions and everything like that. Okay, so here was a Thursday. This is during presidential week as well, so obviously price was just super bullish. Just go over to the daily. Here we can see these are all my screenshots for the trade. We can see here on the daily we have this, obviously this buy side target up here, which is all-time highs. ES has already taken it a long time ago, and we have had this bearish SMT ever since, but this is the target for this week. Okay, this is a 4-hour. This is just a more panned out view. This is a 4-hour more close view, but we'll see on the 4-hour here. We obviously have this 4-hour buy side, and this is taken after the trade was taken, obviously. So we're already taken my TP here, but I'll show you before the trade happened as well. But you can see we have this buy side target here, which is just a 4-hour swing high, and we have all-time highs up here. Okay. Now on the 4-hour, this is a bit closer. You can see again that was the closer target, and then buy side up here, which could have been taken today, the day I took the trade, or Friday, anything like that. Okay, so you can see here on the 1 hour we're super bullish. Monday put in the low. We didn't sweep previous week low here, but ES did, so we do have bullish SMT inside this 4-hour gap. So that's obviously where price delivered this massive expansion from, and then we targeted previous week high, and then these buy side targets. Okay, so here on the 1 hour, this is more closer view. Again, I'll dive deeper into this exact time frame in a second when I cover the trade, but you can see this wick into this order block here was very crucial in my bias in this long. Okay, so we'll go back into that later. We can see here on the 15-minute, this is what we are looking for in price. Okay, so I wish I could draw. Hold on, can I draw here? Can't draw, but I will show you on the 1 minute a diagram of what I was looking for. Okay, this is the exact profile I'm looking for in a super bullish day like we were on Thursday, where London puts in the low. Okay, New York manipulates, or just does a little retracement, and then manipulates lower, just a retracement. It doesn't take 2 to 5 low, and then we push higher into 10 to 12. Okay, so we can see what we're looking for is midnight to manipulate lower, and then expand into the rest of the day. Okay, so back on the 15-minute, we can see here where price midnight opened up here. You see the midnight level right here. We can see price went up, manipulate lower, because I'm looking for an open low, high close setup. So you can see here, look at my arrow here, opens up here. I'm looking for a low, and then a high, and then a close. Okay, so price came lower in 2 to 5, which is our timed low of the day, London protraction, into a point of interest. Okay, so we have fair value gaps or order blocks or anything like that, but you can see here on the 1 hour, there isn't any gaps right here for price to pull into. You can see always down here is the next fair value gap, but we can see here we have a larger order block right here, which could be used as well, and then a tiny little one here, which is more precise. So I opted for that one. And we can see here on the 15-minute, so 2 to 5 put the low, price came higher, and in 7 to 10, we're looking for a retracement low, not to take out this low here, but just to retrace into discount, and then push higher into New York. Okay, so more clearer on the 5-minute. We can see here 2:30, which is between 2 to 5, retraced below midnight into a 1 hour order block. Okay, price came higher, and we started to trade higher from there. And look, between 7 to 10, what are we looking for? We're looking for a manipulation lower into a gap, preferably in discount if we're bullish, and then a push on higher from there. So what do we got here? And obviously between 7 to 10, let's just use a bit of common sense. So between 7 and 10, we're looking for a retracement low. Now, we can actually use our economic calendar to frame which is when the low is going to be formed. So obviously between 7 to 10, if we have 8:30 news, what's going to be the manipulation? It's going to be 8:30. Okay, so we had 8:30 red folder news here. Price came in, and price actually tapped into this 15-minute fair value gap in ES, but NQ did not. So we have this SMT. Okay, even on the swing low, we had SMT. So whether you want to count SMT between the swing low or this fair value gap, we have bullish SMT. Okay, into a gap, and then we deliver higher from there. Okay, so that's what I wanted to see between 7 to 10, and we got that at 8:30. Then price started to trade higher. I wish I had a more clearer. This is 1 minute. Okay, on the 5-minute here, this is about 9:30 here. So we can see this is where I took the trade around here. But I'll show you why I took it, because look at this. We were respecting we're respecting all these bullish pretty areas right here. We can see we have this inverse gap that we inversed. So it's hard to see. We had a gap here. We traded, we started respecting it, and then boom, we inversed it, and we created another gap within it. So this creates a balanced price range. You can see noted here in this orange box here. And then every order block that we can form here, we are just respecting as well. Okay, so you can see we're just trading higher and respecting bullish speed rates. So you can see here's another beautiful example of the London protraction profile. So we saw 2 to 5 put in low between a 1 hour order block right here, and then a retracement between 7 to 10, and I put in brackets here 8:30, which put it in the low, into a 15-minute or 1 hour gap. We've got the 15-minute gap here at 8:30, and we have SMT. Okay, and then we pushed higher into our ERL target up here, which is a 4-hour buy side right here. And then we're looking for either another buy side target to take off profits, or we're looking to take profit into time. And I'll explain a bit later when I go over the trade. But here we can see this is the 5-minute balance price range here. You can see price inversed it, and then we formed another gap here, and then we respected it on the 5-minute. We tapped into this 5-minute order block here as well, and then we push higher. And then, guys, 8:30 put in the low. I'm looking for an expansion. Now, what is going to be another expansion? We have 9:30, which is market open. So as we know, 9:30 is also a volatility injection in the market, and also 10. But we have no 10 o'clock news. So 9:30, I'm banking on being the expansion move. Okay, so 8:30 manipulated, and we're looking for 9:30 to expand into our buy side targets. So we do have this standard deviation marked out here. We can see price rejected the 2 to 2.5 level back into this 5-minute gap here. Oh, sorry, 1-minute gap right here. And also what we have in here, this is also why I hopped into the trade. So this is the 14RR trade. We can see right here. It was a 110-point move, 442 ticks. And we can see this is my exact executions. We have a gap right here. Price came in, tapped into it, and we respected it, and we pushed higher. This is around 9:15. And 9:30, I'm looking for an entry between there. Usually I don't like to take a trade between micro on these type of days because the move is nearly almost done. So I like to take before 9:30. We can see 9:30 is pretty much right this big candle here. So you can see price tapped into this 1-minute order block. This 1-minute gap right here. Here we have this total swoop entry right here, where we're looking for time. So total swoops work by having time, liquidity sweep, and SMT. So you can see we swept liquidity right here. We closed below, above it. We have SMT. ES is above the range, and we closed below here. So we have SMT liquidity sweep in a gap. So that is a high probability total swoop entry, and you can see I didn't just take a trade off of that. I waited for price to show a bit of bullish price action before I take a trade. But you can see I was super confident in this trade that I could have waited for an inverse gap here. So you can see this inverse right here. I didn't wait for the closure of that inverse because that was going to be 9:30. So you can see 9:30 came in, and we already hit my first TP right here, which is this buy side target in the closure of that candle. So that's why I did not wait for it. I entered before it right here. I think just as soon as this candle started to expand, I took an entry right there and then took profits here and then into time of day at 10. So back to this execution, we can see price entered right there, took off 2 contracts right here, and then left the other 3 running up here. So you can see price started respecting obviously the bullish PD raise because we're bullish. A little retracement to 5-minute busy right here, and we push higher. Now, guys, look at this. So we're looking for 2 to 5 put in the low, 7 to 10 do the retracement into a gap, and we push higher. Now, typically our targets for when we're bullish is 10 to 12. Okay, 10 to 12 to put in the high. Why? Because we have midnight here. Midnight, we have an open at midnight, a low put in at 2 to 5, a high, and then a close. Okay, so open, low, high, close, and then we're looking for the high to be put in between 10 to 12. Now, we do have this high being put in here at 9:42 exactly, and then we can see price rejected that. We reacted into it. So price formed a time. We put in a high here at 9:42, which is also in this 2 to 2.5 level right here. I didn't expect that to hold. Why? Because that's not between 10 to 12, guys. That's a fake high. So we came back into a 5-minute BISI right here, which is just a bullish fair value gap. And then we also inversed this gap, and then we took out that 942 high. And what did we put a high in, guys? Put in a high at 10 o'clock exactly. You can see 10 put in the high, and then we came a bit lower here, and then the final high was put in at 11. So that is at our timed high. Between 10 to 12, we put in 11 here. I don't have another photo, but you can see this push here was exactly between 11. See 11 clocks right here. We put in a high at 11.01 to be exact, and then rejected off that. Okay, so you can see the open low, high, close worked perfectly, and I just look for an entry between before 9:30, so I can use the volatility to my advantage and then take a sweet trade. So you can see this wasn't one of those trades where my stop loss was super tight and looking, oh, I took a 14-hour trade, but it actually was. You can see obviously my low is going to be put at this total sweep low with SMT. It is a protected low, so it shouldn't be taken, and because everything else here is balanced and repriced, so I'm not looking for price to balance anything else here. But yeah, you could have waited for the inverse of this gap to be super confident, and then obviously stopped at this low. But you can see I took a low risk entry here, and then yeah, I banked off this trade. So guys, that is so we can go into the details here. You can see I journal my trade here, and I write about everything here. So we can see, seeing as the presidential election made everything super bullish this week, I wasn't looking for anything short. Okay. So weekly profile was lining up to be a classic buy week. So wanted to see high prices again today. So when we look for a classic buy or sell week, we typically see Tuesday put in the low and Thursday put in the high, and then Friday come into the range. But we can see today was a Thursday. All the trade that took the day I took this trade was a Thursday. So we're looking for price to put in the higher week. So that was coming into the day. That's what I'm expecting. And then from that, I'm looking for Thursday to put in the high, guys. So that's the weekly profile. Now, what is the daily profile most likely going to be? I'm looking for a London protraction. So 2 to 5 put in a low, and then put in a high at 10 to 12. Okay. So you can see 2 to 5 retraced into a low probability order block, but it held on hindsight and below MOP, which is midnight opening price. So we manipulate below that in 2 to 5 into an order block, and then we push high. So 8:30, which is red folded candle, we manipulated lower into a 15-minute busy on ES, and NQ didn't, which formed bullish SMT. So I showed you on the 15-minute, we manipulated lower into that 15-minute fair value gap, but NQ didn't. So we had that bullish SMT that I was looking for. So 8:30 manipulated, so I wanted to see 9:30 expand higher. Okay, right before market open, we ran lower, sweeping a short-term low, holding the 1-minute busy. It was in, and it formed more bullish SMT. So you can see here, this is what I'm talking about. Before market open, we manipulated lower, we swept out this short-term low here with SMT. So you can see this is a short-term low. This makes this an intermediate-term low. So intermediate-term lows should be protected from total sweeps. So you can see the way you see a intermediate-term low is if we have short-term lows on either side. So we have a short-term low here, price sweeps it, SMT, and then we come here, form another short-term low here. So you can see short-term low, which makes this intermediate-term low. Price shouldn't really come and take that before we run out the buy side. Okay. So you can see that here, and we can see right before we swept short-term low, holding the 1-minute busy it was in, and we formed bullish SMT. Okay. We had a 1-minute SIBI right above that I was looking to get inverse. So that was the inverse fair value gap that I was talking about. But the SMT was enough confirmation for me. So I entered before we inversed it, as I wanted market open to push higher. So it was a good time to enter before then. We took 2 contracts. Okay, that's where we left the contracts. And then 9:42 put in a temporary high. We retraced into a 5-minute busy, which I showed you. And then we left a new high at 10. Okay, exactly at 10, a timed high. So you can see cons. FOMC. So the cons of the day is we had FOMC late at 2 p.m. So price actually normally wouldn't be too good, but it was very clean because of presidential elections and we're just super bullish. You can see I like to journal this as well. So I like to just journal my emotions and psychology every trade. So does this trade meet my trading plan criteria? You can see put in yes or no. And obviously I marked it yes because it fits my trading criteria perfectly. And then here, I also like to journal my emotional state coming to the trade. So 10 is very emotional on either side of the spectrum. So you got either very confident in the trade, very confident in yourself and prideful, and then you also got 10 as being like very down, disappointed, frustrated. So of that scale, I put myself at a nice 3. I was very kind of neutral. So after I journal my emotions, I look for refinements. Okay, so what steps will you take to shift from outcome focused to process focused expectations? So I don't want to be tied to I don't want to be an outcome focused trader, which means I'm always focused on, is this trade a winner? Is this trade, is my P&L good? I don't want to be like that. I wanted to become more process focused and just following my rules and following the process and only taking A+ setups and letting my account grow. Okay, so I thought I traded quite well today. I didn't take trashy setups. The trades I took before this was very low risk, and longs that I got one stopped out, so I had to stop, and it wasn't time of day. So time of day is also important. And the other was a small win that made back that loss before I hit the trade. So you really just need to trade once a day. or even like a couple trades a week, and you can hit these trades. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Tune in for the next video.